Welcome to Lifestyle Strength, your guide to mastering health and well-being in the real world.
I'm Ariel, a massage therapist with over a decade of experience in holistic health. And I'm here with Lucas, a seasoned fitness coach who's transformed the lives of hundreds in Northwest Arkansas.
We're here to share real stories and expert insights about embracing a healthy lifestyle while balancing the everyday hustle.
Join us as we explore practical ways to achieve wellness and thrive amidst life's challenges.
Let's dive in.
I think for somebody who might be just a little bit more of like a lamb personality or bee personality, where they're not really goal driven, they can't figure out, like, they don't have the motivation to go to a mud run or go to a lifting event, like, or even the confidence necessarily to do that. You still have to find commitment somewhere. So it might just be something as simple as, like, can I walk? Can I just prove to myself that I can walk 10,000 steps a day for 90 days in a row? No breaks. Right. Absolutely no reason not to. Figuring it out just for yourself. That could be something simpler, which is, again, this kind of goes back to that time-based goal. So right, that might, I mean, that is something that I initially do with all my clients. Like, everybody has to work with me for 3 months. So it's kind of why it's there. It's like we have an endpoint that we're aiming to reach for, but it's not real. It's not a real endpoint. It's just something we're setting for you to, like, have some of that pressure. Or for the person to have some of that pressure.
That's like what we did. I mean, it was 90 days, and at the end of it, I was like, oh, this is permanent. I'm gonna change my life. Like, this changed my life completely. But I mean, I definitely, the personality side, it's like, you can't teach hunger. Like, we talk about that in our business a lot. Like, some people are just hungry all the time. They're just hungry. They're hungry for more. They're willing to give up everything to get to their goals. Those people are definitely self-motivated. You don't have to teach them anything. But it's like, how does, and that's not the entire world, though. How do you get everyone to be a healthier group of people? And, that's what America needs.
Well, you can't get everyone to do it.
You can't.
That's the problem.
No, you can't. But how do you, I mean, we can motivate one by one. And that's, I hope that, Morgan talked about just something that she posted the other day that made such a huge impact on her, is that she was able to help people. Like, she had people reach out to her and talk about it. How I was like, that's a proud moment. That's like such a, like, I was like, just be proud of yourself for that. That's so cool. So awesome that, you can help someone else, even if it's one person.
It's like the best feeling in the world. That's, I never always heard the golden rule growing up. And then I remember one day, my wife and I were living in a tiny little 800 square foot house, first house we lived together and rented. And, like, one day I was sitting on my computer, and it just, like, it hit me. Like, we were still wearing masks and everything. I was like, wow. I was like, treat other people the way you want to be treated. That literally means that, like, if everybody helped out their neighbor, like, it would be spiderweb. It would extend to the whole world, and everybody would get some support. It wouldn't solve everyone's problems, but it would just be like, hey, like, I have a hand here if you need it.
Right.
And it never hit me the same way that it did that day. I was like I saw it from a broad scale. Rather than just, like, when people tell, like, you get in a fight with your brother, like, oh, you treat them the way you want to be treated. In regards to people, I think people fight change, especially the older they get. And that's a theme that I've seen over and over in fitness, is that it doesn't get easier.
Right.
It never gets easier.
Right.
Does not matter if you're busy this week. It's not going to be easy, because you're going to be older next week, and you're busy this week is way less important than you getting a week older.
Yeah, I get that. I wish I would have started when I was 20, to go back on time. It can't, so I'm starting now.
Yes.
And we're here.
And it's crazy how fast really it's happened. Because
it's like,
time moves faster as we get older. Like, a year blips by. Right. So the fact that you had this transformation in 90 days, 6 months is like, that's a brush. That's nothing.
I feel like there's a lot more to go, though.
Well, there always is. There's not an endpoint.
Right.
I tell people, when people are very goal driven and they set very specific goals, and then they hit those goals, and I've talked about it on here before, I compare it to being in in this massive warehouse, and on one end, you've committed to becoming a better version in one form or aspect in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And so you decided to open the door to the warehouse. And so there's all this open space, and in front of you, you can see somewhere far down there around a door, there's your goal way down there.
Yeah.
But right in front of you is like a little mini goal or an action or something. And you're going to open that door, and then you're just going to open it up, and then there's going to be another door.
Right.
And then you have to open that door up, and there's going to be another door. And you're not going to be able to see anything else that's going on. It's just that door that's right in front of you.
Right.
And you got to be willing just to keep walking through those doors. And one day you're going to walk out of the warehouse and be like, oh, I got there.
Yeah.
And then the next warehouse.
That's right. That's right.
Otherwise, you're just kind of floating in space.
Yeah. I remember one of my main sales guys for our business, he was just hired on, and this was, 14, 15 years ago. And he wanted to celebrate this huge deal that he got. And I was like, so pumped. Everybody's so excited. Oh my gosh, we got it. It's been working on so long. And then we got done with the celebration. I said, all right, what are we doing tomorrow? And he's like, what? I was like, yeah, it starts over tomorrow. We start over every day here. We end the day, we start tomorrow fresh, we're going to do it again. So it's almost like those goals you refresh it all the time. Just refreshes.
It's weird because they're both, it both means everything to you, and it's entirely meaningless at the same time.
Right.
Because as soon as you accomplish it, it's like, okay, would I get a trophy, like a ribbon? Maybe, more likely nothing,
Yeah.
Maybe your ribbon might be a paycheck if it's a really awesome goal.
Right.
And that can feel really good because that can open up a lot of things for you in your life. But outside of that, it's just, it's not going to last forever. The feeling's going to go away.
Yeah.
So
it's like if success is the expectation every time, then it just becomes an everyday object you have to get over and be successful every day. So I'm working towards success, and once I hit it, it's the expectation. It's not like, going back to, do I need the trophy or do I need to do it again tomorrow?
Right.
I'm going to do it again tomorrow.
Right. There's a saying, before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water, and after enlightenment, chop wood, carry water.
Yeah.
And it's like, yep, because you still gotta drink water every day.
That's right.
Still gotta have fire to make food.
That's right.
Keep your family warm. That's how humans have lived for, we're in such a weird time now where things are in abundance. And so surviving is not that hard. Surviving is relatively easy.
Right.
On the day to day. So that makes us just want to kind of foot off the gas and kind of relax.
Get comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with enjoying comfort every now and then.
Sure.
But it's really easy to get comfy and just to kind of get here.
Yeah.
But then time's not on our side. That's the biggest thing that I've come to realize doing all this and seeing people, coach people in their teens. I coach people over the age of 70.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting, the different perspectives of time that people have, and what they're willing to do, where they're willing to put their energy.
Right.
And it's funny because the younger people on the younger side have an easier time changing naturally, because either their body's still changing or they're discovering who they are. So it's even if they have hard habits that they're hard to break, it's life has forces change to happen.
Yeah.
Inevitably.
Right.
Because just think about, the difference between when you were, 14 and the difference between you were 18, and then the difference between when you were 18 and just when you're 24. Those are big shifts in life. Yet 14 to 24 is only a 10-year gap versus the difference between when you were 24 and 34.
Yeah.
That's where you've pretty much decided who you are.
Yeah.
And then every decade after that, it's really hard to change.
Right.
And so it's really funny because the older people in their 60s and their 70s, they value their time so much but have the hardest time to change.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to change, both physically and also mentally.
Right.
It's really hard to change.
Right.
Like I almost don't even take clients anymore that are over 65 because it's just hard. It's a waste of both of our times.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. We want to invite you back next week as we continue the conversation, and be sure to follow us on social media to get all of our content and clips and anything you might have missed. Again, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.